Well, there's Rocky. And he's outside. He doesn't really like coming outside when the weather's like this, but there he is. I've been coughing and hacking and wheezing my way through videos, so I haven't been making as many lately. I'm not going to post as many until I feel better. When the cold weather comes, I'll feel better. At this time of the year, it's always tough. Even when I was living in a house, I'd get sick at this time of the year. And in the camper I'm in now, there's a lot of mold and stuff. And with the dampness and everything, it seems to really make the mold situation worse. But once the weather stabilizes and it gets cold, that seems to help the mold situation quite a bit. And then I tend to feel better too. I had the pneumonia over 30 years ago, and my doctor at the time refused to treat it. And he said I had Munchausen syndrome and he wouldn't treat it. And then I ended up finding a doctor who would treat it. He had to put me on some serious antibiotics to treat it. But by that time, my lungs were scarred. And so I ended up with an adult onset asthma. So every time the weather changes, or whenever it gets cool and damp like this or whatever, I always suffer for it. But I did get diagnosed with an adult onset asthma and scarred lung tissue as a result of that, of what happened to me back then. It's unfortunate, but the doctor who treated me for the pneumonia, who was actually a really nice guy and a really compassionate person, really good doctor, his name was Gordon Jackson, Dr. Gordon Jackson, and he died from a brain tumor when he was still quite a young man anyway, and that's really sad because we need more good doctors who have compassion, and it's sad to lose another human being anyway who is a genuinely good person, especially. And especially to lose one in the medical profession, because we really need more like that, you know. This is just a picture of the beautiful scenery. Even with everything being dead and it being kind of gray and gloomy, I still have a lot of pretty to look at, you know. So I'm lucky that way. I am, like I say, I'm having some trouble with my breathing and so on, but that's not unusual. And yeah, it'll get better whenever the weather stabilizes. In the meantime, though, I probably won't put out as many videos because it's a little embarrassing to be putting these things out and coughing and hacking through them, and people will be wondering what's going on with me. But that's what it is anyway. Those two apple trees I'm showing now that have the weird kind of bent up shape to them there, they're both all rotten from the inside and they're pretty much dead now. But I've been told by the people who own this property that they used to produce beautiful apples. They're neat to look at anyway. They don't produce apples anymore, but they're neat to look at just the same. And in the summertime, they do sprout a few leaves, even being in the shape they're in. So they're still sort of kind of alive. They're kind of hanging on, you know. But, it's a frog in my throat there. A lot of phlegm right now, a lot of mucus. But anyway, they're pretty to look at anyway. They're unique, you know. And at night, the deer come and bed down underneath them. You can see how the grass is all flattened down. That's all from the deer coming and bedding down underneath these trees. When I set up my camp, I set it up where I did because you could see that the deer were bedding down there. And I figured the deer live outside all the time, so they know the best spots. If the deer are bedding down there, that mustn't be too bad a spot to set up camp. There's my brush pile from the trees I cut down, and the deadfall that I pull out of the forest too. I only pull deadfall out of the forest, and I only cut down trees that are dead. I don't cut down any living trees. But anyway, here's where we're at. I really do like the look of that bent up tree, though. It's neat to look at, and it's a real testament to the tenacity of life that it still produces any leaves at all. Maybe I'll come over here and show you. You can't see it from this angle, but if you look from this angle, you can see. You can see from this angle. It's rotten. It's just rotten, Yeah, and this one's even worse here. This one's even, I'm falling over here. This one's even more rotten than that one. Look at that, eh? You can see right down in there. We go on this side here, and you can see there. That, eh? All rotten. Anyway, when you look at the condition of them, it's amazing that they still sprout any leaves at all. Anyway, I'm going to sign off now. Just wanted to say hello and let you all know what's going on. If you don't see as many videos from me as you have for a while, that'll be the reason. I'll still try to post something every day, but it's just all this coughing and hacking and wheezing and stuff. It's a little bit embarrassing, that's all. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later.